Good day, third year students. As you all know that we were doing Ulysses by Alfred Lord Tennyson, and we had already done first 20 lines of this poem. Now let us continue. Let me remind you that this poem is about Ulysses, the king of Ithaca, who is very adventurous and who loves to do adventures, loves to take risks, and basically he is a sailor who wants to go on a sea voyage. His hunger is never satisfied. So he says, how dull it is to pause to make an end. So he wants to be moving. He wants to continue his journey. He says it is very dull to pause. I don't want to make a pause. I just want to continue with all the perils, with all the dangers and risks in my life, because I don't want to sit back and relax. I love dangers. To rust unvarnished, not to shine in use. Now he says, for example, when iron is not used, then it gets rusted. So he says, the iron, the metal of my spirit, my journey loving spirit, will get rusted if I don't make it of some use. So he says, I don't want that I should get rusted. The spirit in me should get rusted. So I want that I should always shine in use. So as we all know that an iron rod or a utensil, it shines only when it is made use of. And whenever we keep it unused, it gets rusted. As though to breathe were life. He says only breathing is not life. The inhaling and exhaling of the breath is not life. Life means adventure. Life means to do something challenging. So he says, life piled on life were all too little, and of one to me little remains. Now he says, I am so much hungry for this wanderlust, for the spirit of adventure, that he says life piled upon life means many lives would not suffice to gratify my thirst, my hunger for adventure. And the present life I am living, a little remains. Means now I have become old, a lot of my life has been spent, and now a little, the last part of my life is remaining. From that eternal, little remains, but every hour is saved from that eternal silence. Now he says, I don't have much years, but I have much hours. And every hour is saved from that eternal silence. What is eternal silence? Death. He compares death, with the help of a metaphor, with eternal silence. So he says, eternal silence means till I die, some hours are still remaining. So I want to make use of those hours. I want to make use of each and every moment I have. So, from that eternal silence, something more, a bringer of new things. And while it were for some times, for some, 3 sons to store and hoard myself. He says, when I was young, I was so very energetic, I was so very enthusiastic that 3 sons could not contain my energy. And while it were for some 3 sons to store and hoard myself, it was useless, it was in vain. Or he compares his energy with the energy of 3 sons. And this grey spirit yearning and desire to follow knowledge. Grey spirit. Now because his hair is grown grey, so this is a transferred epithet. We all know that spirit never grows older, but he says grey spirit. My spirit has grown older, but still it is yearning and desire to follow knowledge. Means my body is not so much strong that I can follow knowledge or I can do some adventure, but my grey spirit still contains a lot of energy that I can still continue. Grey spirit yearning and desire to follow knowledge, like a sinking star. Simile. Here is an example of simile. He compares his old age with a sinking star beyond the utmost bound of human thought. utmost bound of human thought. I want to do that thing which is beyond human thoughts. What is beyond human thoughts? That some old person is yearning. It's yearning, having a great desire to move out in the perils, in dangers, amidst the sea. So this is something that is beyond the utmost bound of human thought, which is beyond imagination. So he says, "This is my son, mine own Telemachus, to whom I leave the sceptre and the isle." Now he says, I need not worry about my kingdom, that who will take care of my kingdom after my going. So he says, here is Telemachus, my son, and he is the crown prince, and after I go, he will become the king, to whom I leave the sceptre and the isle. I leave all my belongings, my kingdoms, my people, and this island to him, well loved of me, discerning to fulfill this labor by slow prudence to make mild a rugged people, and through soft degrees subdue them to the useful and the good. Now he says that I am sure of the capabilities of my son Telemachus, and I am sure that he will prove to be a very good king, very able king, and he will be able to rule this rugged sort of people in a very good manner. Means he will try to make these rugged people refined, a little bit refined. Most blameless is he. Now he praises his son that he is most blameless. Centered in the sphere of common duties, descend not to fail in offices of tenderness, and pay meet adoration to my household gods. He is able on all fronts. He can rule the kingdom, and he can perform the offices of duty of a king, and even he can pay respect, pay adoration, do worship of my household gods when I am gone. He works his work, I mine. So he says, when I am gone, then I'm pretty sure that he will take good care of the responsibilities he is given. And he says he will do his work and I will do my work. He is happy in becoming a king, and he will rule this kingdom in a very prudent manner, and let me be happy with what I want to do. There lies the port, the vessel puffs her sail. Now, the poet says that I again want to go to the seashore, and he looks at the ship and he says, and he is admiring the sails of the ship. The vessel puffs the sail. Vessel means the ship. The air is puffing its sail. There gloom dark broad seas. And then he looks at the dark gloom broad seas. Why they are dark and gloomy? Because now he is unable to win over the seas. My mariners, souls that have toiled and wrought and thought with me, that ever with a frolic welcome took the thunder and the shine, and opposed free hearts, free foreheads, you and I are old. Now he addresses his mariners, his companions who have been with him, who has been his support whenever he went on a voyage. So he says, you and I are old. And he says that my companions have been with me in thick and thin, in the times of joys and in the times of sorrows, in the times of dangers and in the times of safety. They have always been with me. Thunder and sunshine. What does these two words mean? Thunder and sunshine. Sunshine means happy times, and thunder means challenging times. And opposed free hearts, free foreheads. You and I are old. Old age hath yet his honor and his toil. He says, still old age has got some metal in it. Means, though in old age what happens? A person is devoid of all his strength. But he says internal strength is still there. The spirit of adventure is still there. His conscience is still alive to do something new, to do something adventurous. Death closes all, but something ere the end, some work of noble note may yet be done. He says he's aware of the fact that death closes the chapter of our life. So he says, still some time is remaining, and I can make full use of that small time also, that little time also. He says something ere the end. Ere means before. So I want to do something before the end. Now, his spirit, even in this old age, his spirit for adventure is commendable. Some work of noble note may yet be done, not unbecoming men that strove with God. Now he says, not unbecoming means not unsuitable. So I want to become suitable with men that strove with gods. Strove with gods means the people, the human beings who were equal to gods, who took so much challenges in their life that they were equal to gods. The light began to twinkle from the rocks. The long day wanes. Now he says that now it is evening time. The long day wanes. Long day is coming to an end. So long day here is also a metaphor of his long journey of life. Now he says that my journey of life is about to end. So I have become old. Long day wanes, the slow moon climbs, the deep moans round with many voices. Now, you see, here is a figure of speech, objective correlative, because he is feeling a little bit gloomy inside that I don't have that much energy. So, the notice the adjective slow moon, because he has all himself become slow in his physical actions. Deep moans around with many voices. Deep means the deep sea. Moans. The deep is sighing. Means the ocean is sighing. Why? Because the ocean is also missing the adventure of Ulysses with many voices. Many voices. Who are the many voices of Ulysses, of his sailors? Come, my friends, it is not too late to seek a newer world. Now he once again calls upon his friends and he says that now let us once again set off for a very long journey, a journey filled with adventures. So he says, it is not too late to seek a newer world. Now we should take inspiration from Ulysses that though he is very old, but still his soul is not old. His spirit is still vibrating with energy. So he says it is not too late to seek a newer world. Still, there is time that we can seek a new world. Push off and sitting well in order, smite the sounding forest. Push off the ship and let us set off for the voyage on a sea journey filled with adventures and filled with risks. And well in order, smite the sounding furrows. We should beat all the challenges. For my purpose holds to sail beyond the sunset. Now he says, my purpose is to sail beyond the sunset. I will not stop journey looking at the sunset, but I want to go beyond the sunset. I want to explore many new worlds which I haven't explored as yet. And baths of all the western stars until I die. I want to reach the stars until I die. I want to explore the new worlds. It may be that the gulf will wash down. It may be that we shall touch the happy isles. Now there are two possibilities. That maybe the gulf will wash us down. Maybe we all will die with the tempests. And with our lack of energy, there are chances that we may die. But there are 50% chances of getting success also. And what are the 50% chances? It may be that we shall touch the happy isles. And it is possible that we may touch that zenith of success and see the great Achilles, whom we knew through much, though much is taken, much abides. Now he says Achilles. Achilles is a Greek figure, very, very strong. You must have heard of Achilles' heel. Now he says that I want that my name should be equivalent with Achilles. Achilles also took challenges. And he put his life to risk in order to face challenges. So he says, let us now once again move on. No matter that we have become old, but still there are 50-50% chances, that 50% chance that the waves may wash it down permanently, we may die, and 50% chances are that we may reach that zenith, that ace of success, of adventure, where Achilles reached. Though much is taken, much abides. Though much is taken means much experience I have taken in my life, but much abides. Much is remaining still. And though we are not now that strength which in old days moved the earth and heaven, that which we are, we are. Now he accepts the fact that though we are not as strong, as vibrant, as filled with energy as we were in our old days, it is natural that when we become old, our strength gives way. So he says, but still, once in old days we had strength to move the earth and heaven, but that which we are, we are. So means he accepts that whatever we are, we are. We can't help it. One equal temper of heroic hearts. Now our temper, though our physique has become weak, though our physical strength has gone, but equal temper in heroic heart, our temperament, our thinking, our attitude is still the same, of heroic hearts, though our body is not as strong as it was once upon a time, but still our internal strength, our temperament is still the same, made weak by time and fate. Our body has been made weak by time and fate. We all know that body becomes weak in old age, but strong in will. He says, strong in will. Our willpower is still strong, because willpower is not external. It is not related to body. It is related to our internal strength, to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. He says, I am still young to strive. Strive means to struggle, to seek, to find out, to find, and not to yield. Not to yield means not to surrender. So this poem is all about the spirit of enthusiasm. The spirit does not get old. It is only the body which gets old. And he is such an adventure loving person, Ulysses, that he does not want to rest. Even in old age, he does not want to relax and retire. He says, with the power of will, with the internal power, I am still ready to set off for a long voyage.